Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 pillars of Tesla and why they're important and why they may be all that's important in terms of the stock valuation going forward. So this is Randy Kirk. If you think this is valuable information, you could choose to like, you could choose to subscribe, you could choose to hit notify. And then, you could join Patreon, supporting the channel. Those are all ways that you can support the channel so that I can continue to produce content like this. I appreciate the fact that a number of people joined Patreon last week. Thank you so much. You can't imagine how much that helps to pay the overhead. I have people that help me put this channel together, 2 individuals full-time in the Philippines who work on this and other of my businesses. So a little help from Patreon would be a real blessing. Okay, let's talk about the 5 pillars. I'm going to put these in order. I put up a poll last week on Twitter and asked if people thought these were the 5 main businesses. And I put them in order and asked if people thought that this was about the right order. 80% of the people who responded to the poll thought this was pretty much right. Okay. Had some people that wanted to rearrange my list in terms of order. Now, these 5 pillars are not the 5 pillars for 2023. These are the 5 pillars for, let's say, 2026. This is where things will be in 2026 because one of the 5 pillars is Robotaxi. And Robotaxi probably, no matter how, if the FSD was solved tomorrow, which it won't be, but let's say it was solved June 1st, because maybe it's that close. It would still be 2026 before you begin to see really big numbers from Robotaxi. And as the reality probably is, we're probably more than 6 months away. We might still be the end of this year into next year before the FSD is fully solved. Then that would mean that it'll be, 2025 for sure before Robotaxi starts spreading its wings, and 2026 before we see big numbers. So this is kind of a long-term look at what the 5 pillars will be. This is not speculation. At some point, there will be Robotaxi. We'll be talking about Optimus, and at some point, there will be Optimus. I think it'll be sooner. Some people think it'll be later, but I think more and more of you are coming around to my position that Optimus might be something that's going to happen really, really soon. And if you haven't already seen the video, you may want to go and view the video from this morning from Scott Walter, who once again, in this case, took the Optimus apart piece by piece. No, he doesn't own one. He did it all virtually, but he did a masterful job with great graphics. You may want to go take a look at that. He takes it apart piece by piece and shows how easy this product is for Tesla to make the parts, and then how easy it is to assemble the parts, and just kind of throws cold water on anybody's speculation that this is going to take a long, long time before it comes to market. Anyway, so let's go with the list. Number 1 on my list, and those of you who've been watching the last 3 weeks, you probably are not going to be shocked. I think the number 1 driving product, the number 1 product in terms of revenue and profits will be Optimus. Now, I don't know where I got that idea. Well, I'm an Elon Musk fan. I wrote a couple of books about him. I'm that much of a fan. And so I listened to what Elon says. And Elon said, this will be the largest company. Okay. I got folks out there that think that Robotaxi will be the largest company. I love Kathy Wood. She says she thinks Robotaxi will be the biggest thing. She may be right. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Brian Wong. I love Brian Wong. I think he's really smart. He thinks that over in the SpaceX division, that the satellites are going to be, the big thing. That's going to be because of all the possibilities of the connectivity, the communication, et cetera. So many opportunities. He lists them, and it's amazing. So maybe it will be. Maybe that will be the biggest company. Elon Musk, who has kind of invented and founded all these things, says robots will be the biggest, and he thinks that there's a TAM of 8 billion robots. So it's a little hard to get around the idea of 8 billion robots, who not only will there be a cost at the beginning if they decide to sell them, but I think they'll lease them. So there'll be an ongoing value every month, every year every bot out there that's still in service will be generating this lease income. How much better does it get than that? And then if they do sell them, there will absolutely be an ongoing cost per year or per month or whatever, for updates, just like you have with a Tesla. So whether it's $10 a month or whether it's $100 a month, who knows, but there will be this ongoing stream. So Optimus, in my opinion, I've done a video on this. I'll try to remember to point to it below. I will do another video on it, maybe this week, maybe next week. I will try to also remember to list the other videos that are coming up this week so you can see which ones are coming up this week. But at some point, I am going to do another video on Optimus, where I kind of lay out the Optimus story in terms of my expectations really, really clearly. Okay, but just in general, I think they'll build 1,000 this year, and I think they'll build 1 million next year. And I already ran the video just a couple of days, Sunday, I ran the video where I asked the question, is Randy Kirk crazy? Because quite a few of you have commented, you think that I have gone off the deep end with my estimation of 1 million in 2024. No, I'm not crazy. And yes, I think that's an actual number as a manufacturer. And now having had a number of expert guests on my channel who totally agree with me that 1 million is doable next year. I think 1 million is what will be done next year, and they will be selling them. I think there will be a reveal third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, where the robot will be shown doing lots and lots of different jobs and tasks. It will be revealed as being available for X number of dollars per month or per year, or however it's going to work, or to buy it outright. And then people will be asked to sign up. They will be asked to sign up with a deposit of some kind, probably a larger deposit, not the little $100 or $1,000. This will be a substantial deposit because it's going to be for factories and for education and for farmers and for wholesale distributors and other people that have, major use cases, governments. No, not as military. I explained in my video on Sunday, I think drones are going to be, there's not going to be anything else in militaries. They won't need tanks, ships. It's all going to be about drones. Someday, maybe I'll do a really long video on that subject. I'm not sure you care. Anyway, maybe you do. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see a video talking about why I think drone warfare will be the only kind of warfare that will take place if there's any wars at all 10 years from now, maybe even sooner? All right. So, yes, back to my numbers, 1,000 this year, 1 million next year, and then growing relatively quickly to manufacturers and wholesalers and folks like that. And that at least in the beginning, these manufacturers, wholesalers, et cetera, will have to fill out an application explaining exactly what the use case is, because there will be a very close relationship between a customer service person or engineer, or combination engineer, customer service people at Tesla with these robots in the field, at least for, in fact, forever. There's always going to have to be that kind of a relationship. Now, in the early days, it might be one engineer for every 1,000 robots or 500 robots. Later on, it might be for 10,000. But there's going to have to be a relationship where there will be a very quick conversation between Tesla and anybody that's using these robots in manufacturing, wholesale, et cetera, to get updates, to answer questions, to solve problems, et cetera. Okay, so they will expand the robot fleet as fast as they can expand the customer service fleet. Okay, and that's my theory. Now, maybe it'll be ChatGPT that's doing this customer service stuff, or at least largely, so maybe that'll allow them to grow it even faster. Anyway, I'm looking at a low end of 40 million bots sold at 20,000 or leased at 20,000 a month by 2030, or a high end for a total of $80 billion per year, $800 billion per year in income, with a 30% profit. And it could be a way higher profit than that, depending on whether ChatGPT is doing the customer service. So it could be a 50% profit, it could be an 80% profit, but let's just call it that, at $240 billion in profit by the end of 2030. I actually think the number will be way higher. I think there'll be 100 million bots in service by the end of the decade, and that those will be at 20,000 a month, which will be $2 trillion a month in sales, and multiply that times 30, that's $600 billion in profit. So anyway, those are some crazy numbers, wild numbers, but that's why I think Optimus is the number one business, and it will continue just like this. It'll just continue like that. There's no end until there's 8 billion of them. It may not be all Optimi. That's right. I did the poll. It's Optimi. So the Optimi could come from multiple other companies. But let's say that Tesla only gets 1 billion of them. So even at 1 billion or 500 million, or even at 100 million, the numbers are so huge that it's crazy talk. So let's go on. I believe number 2 will be Robotaxi. I agree with Kathy to the extent that she has not added the Optimus in, that Robotaxi will be the second largest business. And I think that Tesla will be, so the big question everybody's been asking for years and years, once Robotaxi is possible, will Tesla continue to sell any vehicles? I have said for as long as I can remember, at least as long as this channel has been alive, and I think in the book, I think in the Elon Musk mission, that yes, there'll be lots of reasons why people will still buy a car. I won't. I'll be perfectly happy to have the Robotaxi come and get me and take me where I'm going for 25 cents a mile or 50 cents a mile. That'll be phenomenal. But there'll be tons of people that either enjoy driving or they want their own vehicle where they have their stuff in the glove compartment, their stuff in the trunk, they want their kids to be able to make a mess and they can clean it up when they want to. There will be salespeople that need to have their samples, and there'll be use cases for trucks and whatnot where it's used in a job situation. So no, I think that at least half the fleet, let's just say, pull the number right, there it is, pull it right out of the air. The number will be somewhere around half the fleet will still be sold and half the fleet will go into robotaxis. That's just who knows? Who knows whether that's even close? All right, so let's put it at 40 million at the end of 2030, or during 2030, there will be 40 million company cars at $25,000 per year in profit, or $100 billion in profit. In addition to that, there will be another 20 million, let's say, cars that are owned by fleet operators, including people that just own their one vehicle and they put it out like Turo. And that will generate another bunch of money. So let's call it $150 billion in profit. So you can see that's a little less than what I thought with Optimus. So 150 billion in profit I'm sorry, I hit that wrong. 150 billion in profit. So it'll be a little smaller than Optimus, and it could be a lot more than that. But that's a ballpark. All right. Energy storage was number 3. So just below Robotaxi. Energy storage, Elon has already stated, it's going to be at 1 terawatt per year, and probably way before 2030. Right now that's at $500 per kilowatt. I'm saying by that time it might have dropped. So I'm going to give a range of $300 to $500 per kilowatt. That means a range of 300 to 500 billion in sales, and therefore a range of 100 to 150 billion in profit. All right. I think the next one is going to be semi-trucks. So again, I'm going to point to my friend Brian Wong, who is the one who brought it to everybody's attention about the huge market for semi and large trucks. And that Tesla, Elon had said it. Elon says, look, semi-trucks, per battery storage, for amount of energy and whatever we do, they're going to save way more carbon. They are going to save way more petroleum, and they are going to do a lot of other benefits like eliminating all the brake dust that's in the air. So I think that Elon will do all he can to put out as many semi-trucks and large trucks as he can between now and the end of this decade. For Brian, his number is 400 million. He thinks, 4 million a year. He thinks that Tesla will get the entire market. That's what it is. The total market worldwide is 4 million units per year. So for those of you who are only looking at the US market of around 250,000, that's not the world market. That is the US market. It's around 4 million worldwide. I don't think that they're going to get the total worldwide market. I'm saying they're going to get about the same they do everywhere else at 25%. So 1 million units per year. Well, 1 million units at even $300,000 each, which I think is about right, is 300 billion in sales with 100 billion in profit. That is only for the trucks. Every truck is going to need mega chargers. Every truck is going to need mega packs. Well, every 10 trucks roughly is going to need a mega pack. Most point-to-point and fleets are going to want to put in solar so that they can get free energy for their trucks. So Tesla is going to sell a lot of that, a lot of those solar panels for that application. So I think that the number here again is going to be over $100 billion in profit in 2030 for semi trucks. Auto, a lot of you base all of your expectations on auto. I'm not saying that that's wrong, because auto is something that's already being made, and it's being made in volume. Optimus is not being made yet. Energy storage is only being made in small quantities, well, relatively small quantities right now. Robotaxi isn't on the road yet. So these are all a lot more speculative than autos. But I think all three of those are far enough along in the process that they are dead cinches. They're not like maybe they're going to happen. No, these are going to happen. And so that's why I've made them the first three in the 5 pillars. So auto, let's just talk about auto. I'm going to say that there's going to be 10 billion sales. I'm going to have to reread my numbers here so that I understand what I'm talking about. Sorry, there's going to be 10 million sales. I put a B in there instead of an N. So there's going to be 10 million autos sold in 2030. Oh, that's Gary's number. That's not Tesla's number. Well, no, because the other 10 million are going to go into Robotaxi. All right. So 10 million are going to be sold as autos and small trucks, light trucks. It's only going to be about $30,000 each. And it's going to be about $20,000 worth of FSD, maybe it's a lot more, but I'm saying by that time, things have washed out. Okay, this whole FSD thing, yes, for a while, James Dama was on a program a couple of weeks ago where he was saying, look, this is all it can't all happen. You can't be charging $200,000 for FSD and at the same time have 100 million of these cars on the road or whatever the number will be. So this is all going to wash out eventually. And so I'm saying that maybe Tesla will be able to charge $20,000 for the FSD package when they sell these 10 billion cars at $30,000 each. So that's going to give them about 500 billion in sales, and about 50%, counting FSD, are $250 billion in profit. Now you say, but Randy, 250 billion is more than Optimus or Robotaxi or energy storage or all the things that you just talked about. Yes, it is, but it's not going to always be larger. So it is going to, these other ones auto is going to be going up less, and the other ones are just going to continue to go crazy. All right. So auto, minimum case, I think is 75 billion for auto. It may be more or less, it may be way closer to the 250 billion profit, but there's some numbers to play with. And I'm going to go into each of these in detail next week or over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to deal with each of these categories in detail. Altogether, kind of on an average with the highs and the lows, the big expectations and the lesser expectations, let's say that would be around $750 billion in profit by 2030. If you divide that by the 3.3 outstanding, I'm going to do some rounding here. Let's just call it roughly $250 per share of earnings. Okay. If you take a 20 PE on that would be about $5,000 per share. A more realistic 40 PE would be $10,000 per share. Between you and me, I think most everybody in the audience has enough shares that either one of those numbers would be just fine by 2030, and we'd all just put up our feet and live in Hawaii. Okay, so that's with the 5 pillar items, but there are these other divisions. What about these other divisions? I'm going to just go over them briefly here on a couple of them, a few of them. I am going to do larger breakouts next week because they are significant companies. Almost all of these, the ones that we absolutely have a product already, are significant already and will be even more significant in the future if they were standalone companies. But because they are never going to be above 10 billion in revenue, in profit, the street's never going to pay any attention to them. It will not be put in their models. It will not be part of the stock price. Now, at the bottom line, you take the bottom line and do a multiplier, sure, it'll have an effect, but not very much in consideration of $250 billion in profits from all of these top 5 divisions. So let's just run through them really quickly here. Solar could be big someday, but based on what we're seeing today, I don't have any reason to be enthusiastic about it ever being over 10 billion of profit. In fact, right now, I just love it to get into profits. That'd be great. Charging stations, huge business, but it's not going to be over 10 billion because it's only 25 cents a kilowatt hour, to charge, and it takes a lot of those. so no, never going to be over 10 billion. Even when they have I'm expecting them to have 100 million charging units by 2030. Still not going to make over 10 billion, I don't think, in profit. Insurance, no. It's going to grow. It's going to be a significant business. That'd be great if it was a separate business. Not going to hit over 10 billion in profit. And at some point, insurance is going to be not such a big thing, and prices will probably go down as costs go down, as there's far fewer accidents. Utilities, I don't have enough information. We see some of the utility plays that are being made, some arbitrage stuff. It's a penny here and a penny there per, it's not a lot of gross volume revenue, but it is very profitable. But we just don't have enough information. It could be really big, but I don't know yet. I don't have nearly enough information to make that guess. Sales as a service, software as a service. Yeah, so all the stuff that's going to go on the computer in the car, all the stuff that's going to be done in other areas with software as a service could be big. I don't think it'll be over 10 billion. Just a guess for now. I don't have enough information. Dojo as a service, not a product yet. Can't make any kind of a guess. And HVAC, no product yet. So those are the divisions. I think some of you will want to add in home, like they're going to build the entire home and then put all the Tesla stuff in it. Yeah, it's possible. Are there any other divisions I'm missing that you think might be significant enough to go into the 5 pillars? Please let me know in the comments. I love your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. It is getting harder and harder as this station, as we grow and get larger and larger numbers of people responding. It is getting harder, but I'm going to keep it up as long as I can. Please join Patreon. Another member joined yesterday. Thank you very much for all those who've joined. It's making it much, much easier to afford doing this work. Okay, that's it for today. And hey, it's been great talking to you.
Click the link below to get your paperback, Kindle, or audiobook now.